The Rock as the new president. No thanks. People would say, oh, if The Rock ran for president, I'd vote for him. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. I always knew in my mind, like, yeah, I don't think so. I never really liked the guy. I don't know what it is. I know he's insanely popular. He's got to be one of the most well-liked celebrities. I never liked him. I've never seen a movie with him in it. As of more recently, I'm doubling down on my view of him, and for good reason. So he recently did the Joe Rogan podcast, and he is just the most non-real fucking person. Totally fake. So my main problem with him is this. Back when they tried to cancel Joe Rogan, didn't work, of course, but when there was this kind of campaign to cancel him, I think The Rock sent out a tweet, or he sent out a statement saying, yo, yeah, brother, I support you, I'm with you, man. And then someone tweeted at him something to the effect of, hey, don't you know what Joe said? Don't you know what he is? He's a racist. How could you stand with him? Oh my God. Immediately, this guy crumbled. Put out a tweet saying, oh, I apologize, I didn't know. I didn't know Joe's full narrative. What? And by the way, that word narrative, it's so overused. I mean, it's an important word when it's used correctly, because there are a lot of narratives going on. But I didn't know his whole narrative. So you're saying he is a racist? Is that what you're saying? And then he just totally fucking crumbles under that scrutiny of supporting someone instead of having a fucking backbone. Zero integrity there. And Joe has always been such a rock dick rider. In the past, there's always recordings of him saying, like, oh, The Rock, he's an awesome guy. That dude, his work ethic, his discipline. If he ran for president, I'd be 100% on board, etc. Total dick rider to The Rock. And then The Rock does what he does to Joe. The immediacy of which he did it in shows he's just a pure populist, this guy. He will go along with whatever is the popular opinion of the day, whatever is politically correct, without going too far, but he really doesn't want to upset anyone. And I just remember when all this happened, it just really pissed me off. And like I said, my thoughts on this guy were totally confirmed. And recently, Chael Sonnen. If you don't know Chael, he's like the best MMA commentary guy. He does YouTube videos. He's a UFC veteran. Just totally entertaining guy with great takes. So after the podcast came out, and he totally bashed it. And my thoughts are exactly with him. He called it like the fakest, the most awkward podcast of all time. One thing Chael said that was so right, he was like, Joe didn't push back at all. It was just like the most prepared, rehearsed exchange between two people. And you can tell, I mean, as much as Joe says he, is really into The Rock and thinks he's an awesome guy, you could tell if they would never be friends. You can just tell. I mean, Joe, he's a comedian. Some of his podcasts are so ridiculous. The people he has, the banter, the back and forth, the realness to some of them. There's just none of that. These guys wouldn't be hang out. These guys have nothing to say to each other besides maybe workout tips. I don't know. And then of course there's the whole steroid issue, which for that I'm a little lighter on that one. I mean, but The Rock has always denied any accusation of using any performance enhancement, any steroids. But we all know that's not fucking true. I mean, the guy is genetically gifted. He won the genetic lottery for sure. But at his age, to be in that type of shape and looking like he does, there's no way he's not taking everything. And that's not to dismiss hard work and stuff. The dude is, probably one of the most disciplined, hardworking guys ever. I'm not taking away from that, but, Father Time catches up with us all, and he is on the juice. So that's just another thing that shows his dishonesty, though, really, I mean, at least be real, man. But no, he can't. And Joe, again, he didn't push back on any of that. And he said it in many of his last podcasts. Just said that guy, he's for sure on some stuff.
Yeah. When you see The Rock and he's standing there with his shirt off, with his shorts on, there's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. So if he's telling you that he's not doing anything to get that, is he telling people? Does he say, I've never taken steroids in my life? Does he say that? That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
He didn't bring it up at all. It was probably in an agreement, you can't bring this up. That's probably what it was. But pretty lame. And by the way, what The Rock kind of showed with what he did with Joe when that whole cancellation thing was going on, he's done this before, by the way, with Logan Paul. And I'm not a big Logan Paul fan or anything like that, but he did the same thing with him.
After Japan happened, a call from my publicist, who also repped Dwayne, The Rock Johnson. And she's like, hey, Dwayne has asked that you remove every picture and video that you've done with him. He basically wants nothing to do with you.
So, not too cool. And as far as running for president, the only thing he really had to say about that was, well, one political party approached me And, they showed me some analytics, some numbers, and they said, well, you would get this many votes. Okay, that means you should run.
They've talked about you being president.
Dude, one of the parties came to visit me
Oh, no.
at the end of last year asking for me to run.
For president?
President. They had all this data that they had said, if this happens, here's the result.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was really fucking deep. And
Yeah, you're wildly popular. Does that mean you should run for president? I mean, would you do another poll and just kind of see which party you would get the most votes in and go with that party? I mean, do you have any fucking beliefs of your own? Do you have any stances of your own? Or are you just too afraid to say them? This was someone who helped Biden get elected.
By me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
Oh, that's
Thank you, thank you,
fantastic.
thank you.
Thank you. That's
Means a great deal
incredible.
to us, for real. Thank you.
Really. Thank you.
There's a video, I guess from a while back, of him, Biden, and Kamala Harris. And it is just the worst fucking shit to ever see. The level of fake, of just Mickey Mouse bullshit is astounding.
Hey, DJ.
Hey,
Hi.
hey guys, I got to tell you, well, it is so good seeing you guys. Senator Harris, it's a pleasure to finally see you and finally meet you.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to see you. I'm a huge fan of everything from Fast and Furious, all of them, to Jumanji. So thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for your work.
Why can't you just come out and say the Biden presidency hasn't gone so well? Actually, it's pretty horrible. No, can't do that. I guess most likely he would be on the Democrat side. So he can't be a real person and actually say that. I don't think he's dumb. I just think he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers and, and maintain his good standing. And, sensible people see this stuff. You can tell, like Patrick Bet-David, even he said,
one of the best smiles in the game, good-looking guy, comes prepared, showman, entertaining, likable. But brother, if you want to go in this space, you have to take a position. You do. Vanilla's not going to get you into the White House.
you can't be vanilla. You have to have a stance, Rock. Aren't you a rock? Aren't you strong? Stand the fuck up. Have an opinion. Stand for something.
He wants to keep Hollywood happy and keep his Oprah Winfrey friends and all this stuff. But he knows deep down inside he's a Republican. Rock is a Republican. Rock is not a liberal. Rock is not a Democrat. Rock is a center-right guy. But he knows if he comes out and says that, he loses 80% of people that he's doing movies with.
As we've seen from the Joe Rogan and Logan Paul stuff, the dude really doesn't have integrity like that. So I was just glad to see a couple big names kind of push back on this and have the same opinion that I have. But the guy probably does have a great chance of actually becoming president if he ran, just because he's so popular and so liked. As far as his movies, this might sound crazy. I've never seen one. I've never watched a whole movie with The Rock all the way through. I don't even think I started one. What was he in? The Fast and Furious? I could probably name 3 movies he was in. The Fast and Furious, I think The Chronicles of Riddick, I think one of the Mummy movies, maybe the new Jurassic Park, I don't know. I would just never watch that shit. I came up on Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, good movies, cool stuff. Do I sound like a movie snob? Probably, but I'm not watching the fucking Fast and Furious, fuck that. That's not to say I don't like some good action movies, by the way. The Rock, the movie The Rock, Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, yeah, that's a good action movie, 90s. So there it is. I think The Rock is pretty much a piece of shit. No, that's a little harsh, but like I said, just never was a fan to begin with. It's not that I didn't like him. Never was a huge fan. Wasn't a big WWE fan. None of that. Don't like his movies. And then all the stuff that I mentioned before confirmed everything. I don't like this guy. If you like this episode here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe. This has been The Jim Show. I'm out of here.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you. That's
Means a great deal to
incredible.
us, for real. Thank you.
Really. Thank you.
Yeah.